Welcome to Break Free to Brilliance podcast, where heart-centered entrepreneurs, visionaries, and the everyday heroes in your backyard are helping the world break free to live life more purposefully, one story at a time. I am Seema Giri, your host, an award-winning author, entrepreneur, and holistic lifestyle strategist. Today's show is sponsored by Uplift Media. For strategies on how to break free to your brilliance and get your free gift, 10 ways to live a dynamic life, visit seemagiri.com. Today our special guest is Susan Ibitz from Human Behavior Lab. Susan is a human behavior hacker and she will be talking about body language on videos. Okay. Hi Susan, welcome to our show. It's so good to have you here today.
Thank you very much for having me. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I love your background. It just looks so amazing.
Thank you. One of the good things that has been moved online 4 years ago is that one of the things that I need to figure out in my new house is I need to have enough space to make a couple of studios. So when I need to do interviews or I need to be training people, I have different atmosphere. And because I saw your videos before and you're so comfortable, I decided to receive you in my fake living room. Actually, this is one of the studios.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me there. It just looks amazing. So Susan, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
We were talking before, everybody is obsessed with the Indian matchmaker, and the second episode, she consults somebody who does face reading and astrology. I'm not astrologer. I only do the part of face reading. What maybe the civilians take it as what I do is I'm a profiler. I teach you how to read by an email, a text message, a picture, for interaction, for a video, or any situation you can give me someone in 90 seconds, no 90 minutes, and no 90 days. So you can determine how the person intake information, how they process information, and basically to become humans again, because it's not to manipulate others. Is if you're a sales rep, you don't need to sell what you want to sell. It's about what the other person needs. And to be courage, like I can call in 90 days and you're still happy with the sales, with the transaction we have. And a good negotiation is with both parties leaving the table, feeling they have what they need and what they want. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. First of all, I did it as a political consultant. I have a lot of fun. I enjoy it. And sometimes I miss the adrenaline. On Sundays when I can barbecue in my background, do not. I happy don't do it. And I'm still doing some lobbies and political consulting, and I work with lawyers. And my other segment of the business is sales reps, realtors, and managers. Basically, help people to understand each other. Anais Nin used to say, we don't see the world as we are. We need to see the world as they are. So I help people to lower the shield doesn't allow us to see how people need to receive information, because basically that's the problem we have in communication today. From dating to selling, you can use it whatever you want. Actually, I don't know what one sector that you cannot improve communication today.
You know, that sounds exciting and scary at the same time. One that you get to you get to learn about the other person. But now that I think in today's time, so many people are learning more about reading faces and all that. I kind of sometimes feel like, what if my face is giving away some message that I really don't want to reveal? How does it work that way?
Well, it's not actually the most honest part of you is your face, not the expressions you make with your face. And okay, let's put everybody on the same pace, because I start talking and some people maybe can get lost. Body language is what I'm doing with my hands, is when I do with my body. Micro expression is when I do this, like that's fear, like smile. That is micro expression. a statement analysis is what I says and how I say it. Personality types is what are your tendencies. For example, if you are writing with your right hand and I make you to write with the left, you still can do it, but it's not your preference. That has to do with personality. Now, face reading is what you cannot fake. You can learn to write with the left. You can learn to control your body. You can learn to control your face with Botox. But what I see in your face is who you are. So that allow me to understand what are your needs, your primary needs, how you intake information, how you process information, and how you talk to me. Some people talk to you maybe some in ways that can become harsh for others. But if I know that is the way you care about me, because your way to develop or deliver an information is 1, 2, 3, it's not that you don't care about me. You telling me things and 1, 2, 3 is about you caring about me, because you want to be succinct. You want to give me the information so I can do something with that. But if I know how you take information, how you process, and you know my way to do it, now we have a communication problem disappear. So I always says, fear make you fight, flight, or froze. And people tend to froze with fear. That is taking away the fear to communicate, because now I know what are your needs. And the worst you can do to a human being is ignore them. So when I'm talking to you in a way that is not your natural way to receive information, to get information, it's like I ignoring you. I don't care about you, because I don't pay attention or take enough time to understand what are your needs. And at the end of the day, it's what everybody wants as a human being.
That is true. That is true. So to spell it out a little bit more, it seems like it's probably the next level after the DISC, the DISC traits that we all learn for sales and to understand others. So this sounds like the next level of that, going a little bit deeper. Would you agree?
I'm a certified Myers-Briggs. I do Killian conflict resolution, and we are 19 people on the team. I always say, you see me, that we're a lot. We have an office in Latin America, then we have a CEO people, and we have another coaches. The normal team is like 9 to 10 people, depending. We have one who's going back and forth, depending who need them. But we have 10 more coaches that 3 of them, they do the other personality assessment, and 1 of them does DISC. I'm not specialized in DISC. When a client asks for a specific assessment, we send that coach to do it. I do Myers-Briggs and conflict resolution. That is way, way deeper, and a way, I would say, it's like 10 levels above what any assessment can tell you, because assessments are tendencies, are preference, like we says. Face reading is like, you cannot lie. It's been around from all the things that we do behavioral wise today. Is the only one who had survived 5,000 years. This has been happening for 5,000 years.
Yeah.
People don't talk about it because it's a secret. Everybody want to talk, but believe me, nobody going to court to get a lawsuit if you don't have somebody like me. Doing what we do professionally, we're only 17 people around the world. You have face reading on the Oriental standpoint, where it's more for diagnostic, and you have the Western. I do the Western. My coach and my mentor just happened that he retired 2 months ago, so that put me on the top of the list. But doing the Western standpoint publicly, I'm the only person. The other ones are doing more hiding. They don't talk about it. They don't go to the media to do it. And the other group is doing more diagnostic on the Oriental part, and I don't do diagnostic. I was supposed to go to China this year, but they got my visa canceled for we know what reason. So I'm waiting for a go to China to shadow a Chinese face reader, only to learn from the Oriental standpoint, but I will not going to be doing diagnostic.
Okay, so I hear you're doing a really exciting study about reading faces with masks on. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that is, I've been doing this job, work, hobby, love, however you want to call it, for 28 years. And this is the most excited project that I have. This is my baby. A couple of months ago, I started talking with everybody that I know around the world who has been doing face reading and face reading with masks. You have a program called the Super Recognizers in Scotland Yard in England. Then I've been follow and I've been in contact with the people. And I called them a couple of weeks ago and says, hey, what are the studies that you have been doing regarding reading faces with masks? Because a human being can recognize a face covered by a mask or by a hat or sunglasses 140 to 160 times better than a CCTV camera or AI. And says,
Oh,
well, we do have a grant, we're doing some studies, but it's going to take like 10 months to get peer review approved. Why
mhm.
don't you do it? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, you don't have a peer review, you can do it independently, go and do it. So we did it. So if you go into our website, humanbehaviorlab.com, you can go to the study. What we're looking is for you, send us a picture. It's a certain things that you need to follow and how to send the pictures in different angles, with glasses, without glasses. But the most important part, we cannot know you before the study. Your face need to be covered by a mask. And we're going to send you a 3-page report about your personality, even with the face cover. That is
Mm.
phase one. When we have the results, what the people think about the study, we're going to get the people on the study and 20 more people from different careers, police, sales reps, CEOs, and we're going to train everybody together in one day in how to read the basic of the faces. We're going to ask them to evaluate pictures, and when we have those results, the third phase is going to be given the basic training for free to everybody who want to have it. Why? A, we don't want a sponsorship because we don't want to have bias. We don't want to have anybody selling you anything. I think that nobody have the right, if you have anything to help to society to be stop being fear, holding to yourself. We have a business, we're doing great. Now is our time to help others to go back to the basic, better, normal, as soon as safe that we have. 60% of the people do not wear masks because they are afraid to even being perceiving as an aggressive. We have minorities like African Americans, Latino, and Asians. They are afraid to wear a mask because they're afraid that people take them as a threat. So we need to start being afraid. When we stop being afraid, we can go back to normal. We can communicate in another way. So we decided to take the lead on that, and let's see what happens. Like you see, that is fear, because I'm excited and fear at the same time, because most people told me don't do it. It can be a career suicide, and like, you know what? We need to do something to help, and this is our part to try to help as much as we can.
Well, I've noticed that when other people tell you not to do something, that's probably the most important time to do something. So I'm really happy that you're moving forward with this. How many people are you hoping to that will reach out?
The ideal will be, we base our study on peer review university, even though we are not a university. I don't have a PhD. I don't have a master. So this study is not going to be published probably in any magazine, but we're looking between 150 and 200 people. What we need is different sex, genders, because sex and gender now is something different. We have different race and age
Mhm.
and multicultural, to show that even though we don't talk the same language, we coming from different colors, religions, or places on the world, we still can communicate. Again, the idea is to have 200 people from all around the world, because as multiple multicultural this study happens, is going to be better. Because again, at the end of the day, the result, the training, and the free classes are going to be for free. But if you don't help us to make a better database to help everyone, it's going to be impossible for us. We're going to do it anyway. But if we have one continent, one gender, or only one race, how are we going to teach the other ones to not to be biased? I don't see colors and I don't see wrinkles. I see features. So let's help to be more open. Let's not be so picky or so oh my God, you're different than I am from this and this. No, I see features, and that's what I want to teach people, to see features, to see what is the GPS to your brain, so I can understand you. Doesn't matter where are you allocated or what continent you live in.
It sounds like it's just going back to the basic humanity level, and let's learn about each other and communicate at that level, which is really basic.
To go back to be humans again, this is the only thing, because believe me, went through all the studies before we do our own study. Any basic AI is going to take between 18 to 24 months to start recognizing emotions and faces with mask. A human being can learn it in 6 hours. So we can beat the machine. We can leave the AI aside and we become humans again. Why not to? There's going to be people who's going to criticize us, people who are going to say that we are not a suitable institution, and we're going to have people who participate. For the one who want to make a difference, please be part of this craziness. Why? Because there's nothing to lose. Your privacy is going to be kept. We're not going to publish your pictures. We're not going to publish your name. You're going to be assigned a number, and it's going to be subject 1022, female from South Africa, wearing glasses and wearing a simple mask. Result, from the 10 features rated, she agree on the 10, 8, or 7, whatever, and it's going to get the final number at the end. And from the feedback that we're going to have from the people, that's where we're going to be published. All the information is going to be kept on a separate hard drive, not in a cloud, and after 6 months, all the information is going to be erased. So your personal information is never, ever, under any circumstances, be published. We have the legal right on the United States to not need to divulge the name of the people on the study, only the result. So I want to make sure that people understand they're never going to be exposed, but we need your help to make this happen.
And so there you have it. If you want to participate in this amazing, interesting study, you can go to humanbehaviorlab.com and register over there and submit your information. Wow. I can't wait to see what the results are and to learn more about.
Me neither.
So we were earlier talking about body language and different types of body language and how it's different from male and female and how it's different on video as well. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, the first thing is, you can see that my camera is 90-degree angle. You compliment my background, and thank you again. And you see the coherence on the colors. So those are curtains. Behind those curtains are windows. But I choose that the windows are going to be too distracted. So I have a couch, and I have some skin and some pillows. You see all gray and gold have a coherence, and I'm on the center, because I know I always wear in black and my skin is really pale. So I know that even though it looked kind of busy, I'm still on the center on the image. And if I move my hands are not going to disappear from the angle. I'm not going to do this and my hands disappear. I'm going here. So first of all, 90-degree angle. You need to follow that. If you go into, and my camera is too low, and I'm looking at you this way, it's like when I am in person with you. As it make you feel like you're inferior. If
Mm.
the camera is too high, it's like I'm hiding on the bottom, it's not working. So it need to be 90-degree angle. Another thing, when you illuminate your face, you can see a little reflection. I didn't put the reflector on the low, but you still can see the definition. I have two cheap lamps that I go and Lowe's on Home Depot, that the construction lamps. And what I do is put it far away that you can check, you can turn on your camera to see that you see, you don't see shadows, you don't see shadows on myself. I only have two lamps, one in each side. That's enough illumination based on the colors and my skin. Another thing, from all the things that you need to invest when you're doing a video conference, is the mic. First is what you have to say. Second is the audio. If my audio, if my voice is the sound, it's like, imagine that I'm doing this. You don't want to hear me. I know it's
Mhm.
annoying, but I need to show you what it felt when the audio is bad. Oh, you cannot hear me, because those things are the things that even you're recording a video or you're doing a Zoom, they need to be important. And the third one is the background. You said on the beginning, my living room is welcoming you. So it's cozy. So you see something cozy, the sound is good, and whatever I'm saying is resonate with you, I want to be with you. Another thing, do not by any circumstances hide your hands. If I do that, hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's really great to be with you. We have a big opportunity to talk. Hey, it's great to meet you. We have a great opportunity to do this study with the first one. I'm going to teach you two things. We have one lamp. And you see the difference? So we are talking about that your hands are your visual aids. So even though maybe you don't have like slides or anything to show, your hands are the one who are going to conduct. If I says, hi, how you doing? Like, hi, how you doing? This is like dominated. And like you, and one says, you know what? You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
So our fingers and our hands are a way to know that if you're carrying again and you're going to hurt me, or you're really open to talk to me. Because we have this precambric brain that it reminds us, and the paleo time, that when somebody doesn't show their hands, it's because they have something to hide. And the memories in our DNA is the same, like maybe you can play the piano when you never practice. Maybe you're really good cooking when you never practiced before. Why? Maybe because one of your grandparents was good on that point, and you have it coded in your DNA. So the same way that we know how to defend ourselves, to be prepared to be with others, is the same way we read body language. I don't teach anything that is not coded in your paleo brain. I just take those things that you have hiding in your closet, I put it on the table, and I teach you how to reorganize it. So when we're talking in a video, it needs to feel as natural as we are when we're talking in person. You know what? We were talking before, 80% of the people is afraid to public speaking.
Yes.
This is way more painful. You know what?
Yeah.
Grab your cell phone 5 minutes before you need to go to a meeting and watch Poppy's videos online. Watch things that make you happy. Go to a happy place, and your endorphin and your oxytocin is going to be high. So I'm going to be good predisposed and a happy place to talk with you, because it's not your fault. Then this is look unnatural, and I don't like it,
Yeah.
because you deserve the best of me on the time that we need to share together.
Those are wonderful tips. And people have just been bombarded and with doing so many Zoom calls, and they're doing it almost constantly. So whereas at work they might not have been in so many meetings at all, now they're in constant meetings throughout the day. So having these these tips is really wonderful. And then, like you said earlier, that you can have different backgrounds, have set up small different studios, so you also feel like you're in a different environment because you're constantly on Zoom, and other people get to experience that as well.
And you can use the green screen. You don't need, okay, we have 7 to 11 studios, depending on the corner that you match, and we change curtain, but we do this professionally, okay? We have somebody with HBO who came here to help us to set it up. I have a stylist, I have an agent. This is a huge production, but you can do the same production in a corner and one studio. Why? If you have a good green screen, you have a good illumination on the green screen, and you know how to do it, or you have a wall who just, you put a sofa, a little table on your, maybe this can be your real living room. So you center your camera and you have good curtains, even though when you make it a meeting at noon, they can block the sun. So the illumination coming from front, never from the back, and it still can be professional. You don't need to be changing all the time if you don't have a green screen. Zoom is the only, for now, system that allow you to make a fake screen, but you need to know how to do it either. By the way, if the people go into the website and they subscribe, we have a couple of free classes and we can give you on how to do it. But you need to feel comfortable. You need to feel home. Yeah. And even though this can be a meeting with my team, doesn't mean that I don't need to feel comfortable, because I make you feel welcoming and I want to be here. So for example, I know that, for example, you like purple. I see purple and red all over the place. Purple has to do with divinity, has to do with the third eye, has to do with the kings, has to do with majestic, has to do with the royalty, has to do, the Indians has been using red and purple as the Maharaj for years. So I know that for you it's important because I can see it in your background. So I know that your ethnic background and your roots are important for you, just for the colors I see on the background.
Wow, that's amazing. You got it. This is exactly what it is.
Well, beside that I'm a profiler, what I'm saying is you are trying to commit a message. You're trying to commit a message that how your roots are important. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but you have the infinity sign below that, the purple, and so for you, infinity and beyond and growing spiritually is important for you. And you have a lava lamp on your desk, meaning that for you, the good vibes and everything that you do in your life is important. So if I want to be paying attention to your background to know who you are, I just need to be looking around.
Right.
So it's my job to pay attention to your background, to make you feel that I'm really connecting with you. When I'm saying those things, I'm like, holy cow, Susan was paying attention. The lava lamp, by the way, I have a lava lamp. I'm sorry, it's salt lamp.
Oh, wow.
I have one in every corner of my house. They're really good for the good vibe. The red is powerful. It's royalty, and purple is the color of the royals. You
Welcome
can see
to Break Free
everything
to
on the
Brilliance.
wall using purple, and you have the infinity sign. That means that is spiritual for you. So now I know a little more about you, even though at just the first glance, you're really perfectly centered on the middle. The colors, even though they're strong, are not distracted because you mix it with real dark brown wood. So it's perfectly framed. You're welcoming to you to be friendly, to be comfortable, to be with you in this podcast.
Wow. And that was exactly my intent. And the other thing with the purple is for healing too.
Yeah, it's the color. Actually, when you do chakras, auras, the purple is the one to protection, is the one to healing power. So yeah, I know about a little more the dark side of the things, but I have friends and I've been take some classes about the healing, and orange and purple are protection and healing, and you were in both color, protection and healing.
Exactly. Yes. Wow. That is so amazing. I've learned so much from our time together. And I think one, people have been trying to do their backgrounds for Zoom in many different ways, but what you just said really hit home. What is the message that you're trying to convey? Also can really make a difference on how people do their background, so they can also change depending on what they're doing. But that really just makes it simple to understand. Okay, have your background in a way because it's conveying a message. Sometimes people just want to make it pretty and make it, in a certain way, not realizing what is actually being said.
Make it neutral. For example, even though you can see my background is kind of busy, but it's neutral because
Yeah.
it's everything in one color. So silver, and the only thing is gold. It's a painting, by the way, I did in one of my weekends, so it's nothing fancy, but it's a neutral color. And I do know the colors I'm going to be using. Red nails or black nail. Always is going to be a black dress. Red a lipstick. So I need a color and you know what? I color what's in the middle. What is the perfect combination between black and white? Gray. Gray is the most innocent color because whatever you put, it can blend on.
Yeah.
So it's not about what I feel comfortable only, it's how I'm going to be making comfortable your audience to be seeing this video. So respect your needs, but respect the audience that you're going to have in front of you. We are doing a lot of online training for at this point, we're doing online training for 8 different outlets that they're selling our classes. Every outlet we use a different colors, but all of them are related to the colors who has to do with our company. Mm-hmm. So be loyal to yourself and the message that you want to convey. But if at this point I'm on the beach in a bikini showing my boobs, it wouldn't be proper for the place. Right. So be aware the message that you want to convey. I'm a person on my weekends and I'm a different person when I am professional. It's not that I'm fake. I'm proper on the place that I need to be and how I need to be represented. So we do not forget the code of ethics and dressing from the company you work in or the place that you work in when you're representing yourself. People is going to Google you first, the product you sell and the company you represent. Even though it's your own company, they're going to Google you. So
yes,
be boobless on spring break is not a good image to show yourself if you want to represent yourself professionally. Oh, my bed, I'm done on the background, or the stuffed bunny, or I don't know, any semi-naked picture from the 80s when I was single. Like, no, doesn't work that. Look your image and look how you want to portray yourself. It's important. You take 10 minutes to go to your closet and like, what am I going to be today? What am I going to be portraying? What is my message? Start with me and continue with the background too.
Wow, that's perfectly said. Very well said. And I think that is going to be such a huge input and a new learning for a lot of our audience. Is there any one last tip that you would like to give to our audience?
Yeah, you can go to Goodwill's on Sunday and buy whatever you want for $2. Go to the hardware store, get some sprayed, do color coded, do the colors on the background who has to do with your company and your desire. Our company is gray and yellow, orange and gray. So gray is going to be a color that you're always going to see. So it has to do with your company. If you're working from home and your company have green and blue, look for things green and blue. And if it's not, buy a $5 spray and get things in Goodwill on the dollar store and make it happen. Doesn't need to be expensive, has to be representing you. Mm-hmm. And by the way,
The home of a missing mother.
First is the content of what you have to say. Second is the mic. Spanish is my first language, Portuguese the third, Italian, English is my fourth. So I know I do have an accent and I have a tone of voice that need to be respected in order to be suitable. So I invest the maximum amount of money that I can on the mic. The other things you can make at home. But sound is really important. And the background, I don't want to be having my family running and my dog family. I have a pet zoo in the back of my house. You're not going to see my raccoons showing on the window in the middle of the meeting. So be coherent about that. Who you represent is how people is going to perceive you. And if you go and give the wrong present on the media, that's what is going to be stuck with people. So be aware to put a little time and show who you are. And if you want to be weird, hey, I made a career being weird. Be consistent about that.
Wonderful. How can people find you?
They can go to humanbehaviorlab.com, and you're going to be more than welcome, and we appreciate sharing as much as you can the study. And if you want the pre-package of training classes, you can go to humanbehaviorhackerschool.com. One is online stream training, real-time pre-boutique for you warrior needs, and the other one is preset, or you can Google my name and you're gonna find me like more outlets than I would expect him to be fine, but that's what the media work.
That is true. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Susan. It was just so wonderful to get to know you better and all the things that you're doing to help everyone be more comfortable in this new environment that we're in and helping them propel forward. So thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us for this interview. I hope you've gained some insights and or tips that you can implement right away. For more interviews like this, please visit us at seemagiri.com or visit our YouTube channel, Break Free to Brilliance with Seema Giri. Until next time, have a great day.